John Bonham here, also known as Cape Cod Wet Shaving. How have you been? Been a long time since I've done a video, 11 or 12 days. So, yeah, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I do want to start out by saying, first and foremost, this shave is dedicated to my nephew, Isaiah Santospago. And I also want to give a shout out to one of his good friends, Patrick McPherson. How you doing, guys? So, man, where to begin? I took a 8 or 9 day trip down south. I tried to stay semi-active online, but for the most part, I was busy. My nephew Isaiah enlisted in the Army, and he graduated the basic training in Fort Benning, also known as Fort Moore, as of 2023, in Georgia, Columbus, Georgia. He had 4 days off, and so my oldest son and I drove about 20 hours down and about 18 and a half hours down and about 20 hours and some change back up. So, busy week. Had a lot of fun, but more than that, it was a very illuminating trip for myself as an individual, and got to bond with my oldest son. We've never done anything like that before. So, again, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So, here's what I'm going to do. Again, Isaiah, since this is dedicated to you, I picked this soap specifically for you. Okay, I hope you like it. I told you I was going to use a soap called Fearless from Strike Gold Shave. Changed my mind last minute to use this. This is Azure from Catie's Bubbles. Absolutely phenomenal soap. A little out of season for it. I like using this when it's warmer weather, but as you can see, this is your new office, man. Okay, this is going to be all you. So that's why I picked that. So right now, after we unfortunately had to say goodbye, he's doing infantry training now, if I remember correctly, and he'll be out for Christmas. He'll be with us. Let me go ahead and start lathering, actually. Let me finish going through this, sorry. I got ahead of myself anyways. So this is the soap I'm using, matching splash. For the balm, I'm using 345 soap, vetshaving. I don't know how to say that. This goes very well with this, not just the color. That's coincidental, believe it or not. I picked that specifically because it has some aldehydes in it. This is an Aquatic 𝘈𝘻𝘶𝘳𝘕. 𝘈𝘻𝘶, how do you say it? 𝘕𝘕𝑦𝑝𝑟𝑒. It's one of the big scent blah 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 blah, like fougere, all that. It's one of the big scent categories. Hope I'm not face palming a bunch of people here, but this is technically an aquatic version of that. It does have some barbershop elements to it. So because of that, I did that for the pre-shave oil. How you doing, Graham? In case you see this, MMGP. Great company. Unfortunately, overseas, they're not selling in the States yet. So that's it for my software. Hardware is going to be my Rod George Lake City. You can see the 1.5, if I have that right. Yep. So that is a 5.56 by 45 millimeter round, and LC stands for Lake City, where it was manufactured, in case anyone cared. And because this is dedicated to someone who's going to be in the Airborne soon in the Army, I do have my Airborne pin. I didn't want to wear it, and then I have a shirt. I don't know. I decided not to hang that up. The brush. It's a 40 millimeter M9 shell. Isaiah got to shoot one of these, you lucky bleep. So he's having fun. It's tough, but he's having some experiences he wouldn't have had otherwise. I did buy an 82nd Airborne flag and patch before I knew that it was different from the regular Airborne. So I did not want to hang that up. I didn't want to fly any colors that I otherwise should not have. I don't think Isaiah will end up in the 82nd. We'll see. I have no idea. But this is probably going to be a bit of a longer video. And I already got his permission to do so. Oh, that smells good. So I was going to talk about him. Aside from the fact that I'm his uncle, and I'm proud as hell of him, I did This is a badger brush, by the way. I want to just, just talk about his life. So, I'll be careful, Isaiah, not to try to divulge too much. I don't want to embarrass you. I almost brought out some baby photos of you. I won't do that. I'm going to have some photos, but it won't be, don't worry. I won't be that uncle. So, Isaiah was born in Italy, believe it or not, to his mother, Sarah, who was in the Air Force at the time. Now, Sarah is my wife's twin, fraternal twin. Okay? So, I won't say who the dad is. All I'll say is that he was not in the picture, and he chose to stay that way. So Isaiah, brand new to the world, his mom did not expect him being born. And she didn't know what to do. So she asked my late mother-in-law, Mary, her mom, to come get him from Italy. And without hesitation, wonderful woman, by the way, the one and only time in her life she left the United States was to fly to Italy to go get him and bring him back to the States. And the idea had been that Sarah would get her affairs in order, decide if she was going to stay in, figure out what she wanted to do with her life, and then come back and take custody of Isaiah. Well, that did not happen. Instead, Mary and my wife's father, Peter, wonderful, wonderful guy, decided to take it upon themselves after having kids their whole life, decided to legally take custody of Zay. Sarah would be the first of many people to let him down. It's a sad story, but bear with me, there's a reason for it. Forgot to tell you too, sorry. Wilkinson sword blade, and I use that because of this. 1st Battalion, 50th Infantry Regiment. That is Isaiah's regiment in basic. There you go. I knew I was forgetting a light. It's like kind of dark in here. So, Mary and Papa, as Isaiah called him, although they were his grandparents, they were also his parents. I've known Isaiah since he was in diapers. Teeny, tiny little guy. Jess and I have been together just about as long as he's been alive. Yeah, exactly as long. We've been together. We've been together 19 years and married for 18. And Isaiah's 18. I forgot to say the scent notes of this. Bergamot, Lavender, Geranium, Petitgrain, Musk, Coumarin, Aquatic, Muguet, Muguet, which is also Lily of the Valley, by the way. Musk, Hedione, Ambroxan, and Labdanum. Okay, Hedione is a floral, citrus, grapefruity, kind of greenish kind of fragrance. Had to look that up. The balm has citrus wood, amber, and aldehydes, as I mentioned. So, all right, I'm all over the road. So Isaiah lived with them in 2015. Peter, Jess's dad, got sick and passed away. Peter was a great guy. He and I both would take the kids for walks when we'd go visit them. They lived about, God, how long do they live from us? We lived in Virginia. They lived a long ways away, like 12 hours. In Maine, they lived about 6 hours away. So we'd go visit them then. But Peter and I would go for walks with our kids who were young at the time, and we would just talk about politics and history, things like that. And he always had something interesting to say, enlightening. I miss him. Well, Mary, who had not been driving or anything, Peter did everything for her. She and Isaiah found themselves alone. And Jess and I decided, more Jess obviously, for Isaiah and Mary to come move in with us. See, Mary was on a list for housing. Government housing is the only way she could move to the Cape. It's expensive here. And the waiting list was ridiculous, and she ended up living with us for about 3 years, her and Isaiah both. Now, this is when I still drank, too. So it was tough. Now, it sounds like a waking nightmare to have your mother-in-law live with you, but she was a really good lady. She really was. She was always very good to me. Her and Peter both were. Well, coincidentally, whether I wanted to or not, I got to know him better because he lived with us. It was a good thing. For better or for worse. You know, because I drank and stuff. I wasn't the best influence on anybody, but Mary never really faulted me for it. And she was one of the first people in line to be happy for me and congratulate me when I quit. Anyway. So Peter passing away devastated him. They were very, very close. And that's just, you know, in a way, even though Peter obviously couldn't help it, another person had let him down. So they lived with us for 3 years. They finally got on the list for got housing. Jess and I had moved her in with us. Then we moved her to the new housing. And Isaiah got older. And inevitably, as I did, with my own situation, I was adopted when I was 2. I started getting old enough to have questions. Where's my mom? Where's my dad? Why do I live with you guys? Why don't I live with her? What happened? Sarah had kind of half-assed tried to stay in his life, but not really. But she had made it very apparent that she had no interest in taking him. She'd buy him the occasional gift here and there, but that's really it, and just that only goes so far. So he did what all kids do, what I even did. When my parents split up and I had questions and all that, he got angry and he started acting out. He's what you're supposed to do. You're a kid. He was full of anger. Life had never been fair to him, and all he'd done wrong was be born. So he and Mary started butting heads. Mary was older now. He started hanging out with the wrong crowd, skipping school. Doing stupid shit. Excuse my French. I did the same. I don't mean to keep saying I, but it's not just you, Zay. It was me too. Everyone, for the most part, acted out in one way or another. Some for better, some for worse. And he started heading down a path that wasn't good. got sick. And she needed blood work, and she went into the hospital. And she never came home. So Sarah let him down. His father, biological father, let him down. Made it clear he wanted nothing to do with him. He lost his grandfather, then he lost his grandmother. We didn't have the room to take him. So he moved about an hour and 20 minutes away from us, in with Jess's other sister, Kim. Kim's not the best person. I know I'm putting a lot of stuff out on blast here. There's a reason for it. Wasn't the best situation for him, and Jess and I felt horrible for it. And finally, Isaiah, after leaving all the idiots he was hanging out with, got himself back on track. Instead of dropping out, he studied and worked his ass off throughout the summer. Was it the summer? Or was it throughout the normal school year? Worked his ass off, and he graduated high school. He almost didn't. He almost dropped out. The school almost dropped him for lack of attendance and all that stuff, but he did it. And then right after that, on his own, he enlisted in the military. Isaiah, when I was about your age, a little older, I was about 19. I graduated high school. Told my stepfather and my mother to shove it, and moved out. I was not ready. I didn't care. I wanted out, and I thought I knew everything. I knew better. And promptly fell in with a bad crowd. Started doing a bunch of stuff that I regret to this day. And almost went down a bad path myself. Luckily, I had people who loved me enough to intervene. They scooped me up. They got me out of that situation. Gave me some tough love. My mom, my dad even. And then I ended up joining the service, and the rest is history. Thought I would do 4 years and go back to Texas. I haven't been back since. Met Jessica, had Aiden, the rest of the family. Almost 20 years later, man. What I had is something you didn't. I had people to help me. Jess and I helped you. You know, some people have helped you. But to get out of something that was really hard to get out of. If it hadn't been for those people, I probably would not have. Or if I had wanted to, it would have been too late. The reason I'm saying this is because you did all this on your own, dude. You pulled your head out of your rear end on your own, kept at it on your own, and completed it, and did what you set out to do on your own. And that, my young man, is extraordinarily difficult for anybody to do, let alone a newly appointed by age adult who's had some hardship like you have. You might not even realize it, and You probably won't until you're older. Maybe you never will. The miracle that you pulled off for yourself. Because I'll tell you, buddy, there's people who've been through a lot less. They're a lot more bitter and angry. And this is who they are as people. I know you got some anger, and I know you got some, you know, who wouldn't? But you funneled it into something good for yourself. And the day that Aiden and I saw you come out with your platoon, your squadron, you were a man. Undoubtedly. That was a man. And it was incredible, man. So, here are the pictures. I did a couple of these in my post. That is you. When they told you to spread out, all of y'all like clockwork just did your arm and you went sideways. Here was you saluting. That was great. Sorry, man. And let's see. Here's Aiden and you. And then here's me and you. That's badass. And then you stayed with us for 3 months leading up to, because Kim just, knowing you were going to boot camp, she couldn't wait. Booted you out. And you stayed with us. I'm sorry we were boring, man. We just were homebodies. I wish we'd done more. But let me go ahead and rinse this off. I feel silly. I'm going to rinse this off and I'll do post-shave and then I'll finish up, okay? 1 second. All right. God, that's a good scent, guys. I believe Chris still has this available. This is an absolutely phenomenal soap. It is really good. It is very fresh. It is green. It is airy. What you'd think of in a smell when you see this label, it's that. But imagine you're standing in like a green, just vibrant field looking up at the sky. That's what that smells like. Maybe there's some dew or something in the air. Phenomenal soap, man. It's one of my favorites of Chris's, and that's saying something. Because I think I like every single one of his that I have. Okay, some more photos. Isaiah, this one was your favorite. Jessica was not happy, but I said I got to bring a celebratory stogie, and I hope I don't get in trouble with YouTube for this. There you go. That was a good day, man. I remember when we took that photo. That was right outside the hotel we got. God, man, what did we do? We went out to eat at Waffle House. First time you'd ever been there. First time Aiden had ever been there. We went to, we went to Crystal, the burger place. We went to Hardee's. You guys were obsessed with Steak and Shake. You guys would go out at like midnight, you and Patrick. How you doing, Patrick? By the way, thanks again, dude, for going down to see him. Patrick flew from Massachusetts by himself with his own money. Flew down to see Isaiah graduate and spent the whole time with him. Rented a car, got an Airbnb, everything. Great guy, man. You're an awesome dude. And they shocked me when they said that they watch my videos. Freaking awesome. Couldn't believe that. I'm like, really? So, good dude, Patrick. You got my info now. You better keep in touch with me, dude. What else? No coffee of the day. I'm drinking my... Remember these from last year? Christmas. But anyway. I don't know. You told me it's okay to talk about some personal stuff. I hope this wasn't too personal. I left out a lot, as you know. But... I know this is something you said you wanted to do, but it would have been easy to not. Mimi and Papa wanted one thing for you. No matter what it is you ended up doing, they wanted you to succeed and do something with yourself. that was good. Good for you. Good all around. And you have. I'm really sorry, dude, that we couldn't take you in. For what it's worth, that bothers me. I've never really told you that. I think I've said sorry once or twice, but it bothers me more than I let on. Just how life's not fair a lot. A lot. As you know. But I'm proud as hell of you. I view you as really as one of my own kids. And I had fun with you, and I miss you. But Christmas time, dude, right around the corner. You got 5 weeks now instead of 11. We went to the Infantry Museum. I'm going to be doing some history shaves and just some shaves in general, talking about this museum. I called Jess and told her about it, and my exact words were, every American child needs to find a way to get funneled through this museum. It is astounding just how much is in that place that nobody knows about. That is just absolute. The stories. It's from the Revolutionary War to Afghanistan. Okay? And there are people in there that you've never heard of. I want to put some photos up, but I'll save them. Just some of the soldiers, some of the stuff there's a pillow hand stitched by a mom sent to her son on the front in World War I, and he didn't make it, but the pillow made it home, and it was on display. It was incredible. I think I'll just talk about the museum. I'll do a shave about it and just show various random photos. We did the last thing we did, me, you, and Aiden, was the Civil War Museum, which was awesome. Got to touch a boat that's almost 200 years old, salvaged, a Civil War vessel. But, all right. Well, let me go ahead and do the balm and I'll call it. Hope I didn't embarrass you too much, dude. What else? Thank you to Louis, Mr. Louis. I don't know if you pronounce it Lambert or Lambert, but Jumpmaster EDC for helping Isaiah out, giving him some words of encouragement and some advice. He's a jump master for the United States Airborne, Army Airborne. And what was the other title? It's like the highest thing you can be, and I shouldn't have forgotten that. Jump master and the other thing. And even Isaiah was like, whoa, he knew what it was. Thanks for taking the time for really a stranger and chatting with me. Sorry I missed you in DC too, man. That would have been amazing. Aiden and I went to Washington, DC on our way home. And literally an hour into it, we found, or no, I'm sorry, like 30 minutes into it, we saw a guy standing with a sign that says, "Welcome back, Trump." We were like, Trump? And I'm like, is Trump coming here? He goes, yeah, he's going to be here at 11. We were like, what? So Biden was in the White House. Trump showed up. It was that day where Trump went to meet with Biden. We were there in DC. We were like looking at the White House while that was happening. Got trapped there for a little bit, but I'm Angela, Shave Arcade. Your daughter was there on freaking field trip. I wish I'd seen her. A lot of wet shavers were in DC that day. It was funny, but we're going to come back and see you. And the idea is probably the whole family will come see you, man. So it'll be fun. So I know that was a bit of a weird video. Most of y'all had no idea who I was talking about. But he's a good kid. I wanted the world to know who he is, what he's been through, and what he's become. And it's not easy to do it. And he did. I couldn't do it without help. There's no way. But you did it, man. You should be proud of yourself. So, all right, that'll do it. I don't know what the motto is or any of that. I'll just say Airborne. Very cool. Be safe, I guess. Enjoy jumping out of, dude, I wouldn't jump off a porch drunk, let alone out of an airplane sober. So maybe inappropriate, but you get the gist of it. Good for you guys. Very incredible. But that will do it for this shave. Thank y'all. Again, this is available. I believe the soap is $20. I can't remember offhand. I don't want to say the wrong price. But I went and looked up the scent notes and it was still on there. So I'm pretty sure the splash is available. Great soap. If you happen to, I'm sure people have been seeing Graham's stuff around lately. Shipping's expensive, but if you want to give it a shot, straight out of Scotland, Graham's an excellent, really wonderful guy. I've talked to him over Instagram. Really funny dude. I like him a lot. Good artisan. So I do want to pick up his splash. And what else did he have? EDP, I believe. $80 just for those 2 items because shipping's like $26. But it is what it is. And that'll do it. Thank you all for watching this, especially if you made it to the end. I know this is a longer video. It was worth it though. Isaiah, really, really proud of you, man. You watch yourself over there, okay? You can do this. You know you can do it. I know you know. But I'll say it anyways. Kick the hell out of that place, okay? You own it. Even if it's in that moment you don't feel like it, you do, okay? Trust me. Been through too much shit, you know, to cave over something as simplistic as that. Well, I say simplistic. You know what I mean. I'm not the one going through it. I get it, but you got this, man. All right. Love you. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you again, Patrick. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anybody. Thank you, Joe Catie, for taking the time out of your day to let me park in your driveway and shoot the breeze with you on the way home, too. That was very cool. Really enjoyed it. That'll do it. Y'all take care. Happy shaving. Take care of everyone. Take care of everyone. Have a great autumn. And I'll see you in the next video. All right? Happy shaving.